Hi, welcome to Simon's New York Stories. I got 137 subscribers now. That's a big deal to me, man. I'm like, wow, 137. I know some pages got like some of these things they got like 100,000 subscribers or a million subscribers or a million views, but I'll tell you quite frankly, who the fuck's gonna be interested in my shit? I'm happy to have 137, so I want to thank you. And let me see, we left off, we were going into 1981, okay? So I'm still in the outsets. I started up Joey Miserable and the Worms, and we're just playing Studio 10. And, I was living a pretty dissolute and wild lifestyle, which is not required for anybody, but if you're going to do it when you're 20 years old. Don't do it when you're 55 years old, is my recommends. So, we got a few stories here. Okay, living in the Studio 10, and there was this. It was kind of a complex. There was like 4 or 5 buildings. There was the Studio 10, and then there was the Overthrow newspaper that they used to give away or whatever. And then they had the Yippie headquarters, where it was like you didn't really want to go in there because it smelled like cat piss and the fleas would just bite the shit out of you. It was like flea central. You could pull a Roman chariot with those fucking fleas. There were so many of them. Then down the street, a few doors down the street, was Mickey, the Pope of Dope. And Mickey was an older guy than us. He was kind of he had a bearded glasses, I remember that. And he ran probably like the first pot delivery service in New York. Kind of like there was also this very cryptic place, We Deliver, that was very cloak and dagger. And then there was Mickey, the Pope of Dope. And he was kind of really bust out about it. Like, not a lot of, if you ask me, if you're gonna do any kind of shit like that, especially back then, you should cop a sneak on the whole thing. But he was the opposite. He had this big sign, Church of the Realized Fantasies, and if you went in, it was like a little storefront, and he lived there and sold weed out of there, and he had weed delivery guys, so he had every kind of mutt in the East Side delivering for him, including me, and he had this big picture, I remember, of like Superman giving it to Batman. Like he liked Mickey liked men. He liked guys or young boys, but he didn't really, that not for nothing. I don't really care about anybody's sexual preference because I got fans of every. I got friends and music fans, right wing music fans, left wing music fans, center, gay, straight, Satanists, devout Christians, Orthodox Jewish, like everybody. I just, I don't really give a fuck. Like, but he had a lot of, like, he was very out front about it. And so you walked in there and there was like this big picture of like Superman giving it to Batman, which always cracked me up. I thought that was fucking hilarious. But maybe his self-protective instincts or security consciousness, maybe it wasn't so good, because I went in there one time and I had $26 and I wanted to go in there and smoke a little bit. I had $26 to live on. I wanted to get a little bit of weed and then go over and like get a bag of heroin. I want to go over Black Tape or over to Chuleta or something like that, or Mad, and one of them spots. So I wanted to get like a $10 weed, a $10 heroin, and then I was going to live on food the next couple days off the $6. Those are my priorities back then. So I go in there, and there's some guy in there I did not appreciate. Okay, he looked like a heavy metal drummer of the late '70s. He had aviator shades and like a kind of droopy mustache, bandana tied around his head, camouflage pants, one of those wire mesh wife beater. You know the wife beater shirts, but they're made out of like wire mesh. You know, uh, and then he had like a fucking frat jacket or baseball jacket or something like that. Like, you know, uh, anyway, he was in there and he was like, hey, he was talking all this shit. Hey, I'm from Jersey. I'm from Jersey, and I'm not afraid of the N word people down here in New York, and I'm not afraid of the S word people here in New York. I'm tough. I'm from Jersey. I'm going to come down here. Nobody's going to mess with me. I just came down here to get some weed. And he kept on dropping the N bomb, and, you know, uh, I immediately just hated him and despised him. You know, my father used to say, to hate somebody, they have to be your equal. I despise him. So I despised him instantaneously, but I just wanted to get my weed and go get high and go play my guitar. You know, I used to just like to get high and play my guitar. Now I don't get high and still play my guitar, right? So we're there. All of a sudden, the door gets kicked open. Boom! All right, and it's these. I'll never forget this because this was a pretty close call, man. These three guys come in. It's cold out. It's like April. You know, April in New York's kind of cold or something, right? Maybe it was March. They bust in the door. Big guys, white guys. All right. I remember one guy had kind of a sandy blonde mustache. They had blonde hair. They were wearing sunglasses. Uh, they had watches on, that used to be a dead giveaway for a cop in the old days. Like, you know, dope fiends, junkies don't wear watches. If they had a watch, it's in the fucking pawn shop, right? So you see somebody wearing a watch, you don't trust them. They had watches on, and they had shotguns, all three of them. They come in the door. They're like, all right, everybody line up on the wall. Everybody lie down. Lie down on the floor. Lie down on the floor. Lie down on the floor. So I'm like, oh man, my $26. Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe they won't find it. You know, now Mr. New Jersey starts screaming, please, please don't kill me. Mommy, please, I don't want to die. And they got shotguns. So they're taking everybody's money, and Mr. New Jersey's like crying and woo. Now I feel this up against the back of my head. Boom, boom, two barrels of a shotgun. And I hear the safety click off. And they go, let's kill him. He's too quiet. And I'm like, gentlemen, it's only business. The money's in my left pocket. So the safety clicks off. They take my fucking money. They didn't blow my head off, obviously, but it was pretty close, right? So they go. They got everybody's money. Now I'm not gonna get stoned. I'm not gonna eat, and I'm gonna be dope sick. And you know, I'm gonna be, you know, I didn't have too bad a habit, but I was gonna be sick, you know? And great, great. And Mr. Jersey's there crying. And I couldn't help myself. I went over, I was like, motherfucker, you almost got us all killed. And then I just kicked him in the face as hard as I could and walked out. I've hardly ever done like anything like that in my life. I'm not like that kind of a person, but the guy almost got me fucking killed. Plus, he was a racist, you know? And I walked out of there. I never went back to Mickey's, the Pope of Dope. He was like, put everybody on Front Street, you know? Like running just a bust out operation like that. I was stupid to go in there, but when you're trying to get drugs, you do a lot of stupid shit, kids. You know, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, you know. I hear weed's legal now and you could smoke it anywhere, you know. I mean, I'm not going to start smoking it again. I already did. I already did plenty of that. I like being straight. but it's like, holy fuck. So that's that story. Pretty goddamn close. Pretty goddamn close. I wouldn't be here right now. Thank you for getting me to 137 subscribers. I also want to say I went to the punk rock show in Tompkins Square Park Saturday. My daughter was there. My girlfriend, we rid our bikes down from Rockaway to go to it, and went to the punk rock show. The two bands I really wanted to see was Murphy's Law and Madball, and I had to split because I had a jazz gig back here in New York, in Rockaway. So back in Rockaway, I had a jazz gig, which is great. I'm playing gigs again. Little by slowly, I'm starting to play gigs, and I had to split. And indeed, I made it back in just enough time to get ready and do this other gig. And the gig went good, and it's like, gotta make a living, man, Gotta make a living. Jazz is my day job, My punk rock is my fucking passion, and jazz is my day job. But a lot of people mosh pit, no masks, and then you see these fucking people, like these commentator trolls and everything, like, oh, you're spreading the virus. It's like, yo, motherfucker, I had a fucking shotgun held to my fucking head, all right? It's like, I did a lot of sketchy things, man. I could have gotten greased real easy. It's like, I'll take my chances going to see a good old punk rock show, because I'll die of disappointment before it's like, it was so good to see everybody again, and, I got to catch like 2 songs of Blood Clot, before I had to split. Like me and Johnny Bloodclot worked together for a while on like Rock Against Racism Road Crew with the Bad Brains and all these other groups playing. But I've been a shitty punk rocker in Tompkins Square Park now since 1979. Okay, and on the way out, I ate a little of that Hare Krishna food. It's fucking good, man. I've been eating Hare Krishna's food at Tompkins Square Park since '79. And I saw Chuck, I saw Raven. I just got to say, like, I almost cried because, in a way, nothing ever. It's like, as long as I can go to Tompkins Square Park and my friends that I love are still alive and I can still see a punk rock show, it's like, I'm telling you these stories, but it's not like some past era or anything. It fucking still lives, Punk rock lives. And with that, over and out. Thanks for subscribing. Please leave comments. All the only comments I've been getting are like fucking pornos and shit like that. Like, leave a comment, even if you just want to tell me I'm a fucking mook. All right, love you all. Take care.